Could the winds carry us more quickly to the shore? Oh, how many days until we reach port? I cannot abide for the lack of earth beneath my feet. Oh, stones, blood, woman. You must really stop abusing your stuff so freely. I repeatedly told you. Just because you are of elven kind does not mean you have the right to pitch your slightest against mine. Sincerely believe you took delight in seeing me startled. I would ask if you intended to give me any peace in this voyage. But considering we are mere days away from ending our captivity, this wretched ship, it would be pointless. What's that? What do you take me for? I doubt you're just innocently bringing me a glass of wine just out of the kindness of your heart. You've probably laced it with some magical will suppression, suggestion power, or even maybe... Oh, well, for all I know, you're immune to whatever you put in there, so taking a drink yourself proves nothing but how cunning you are to have thought ahead, trying to look oh so sincere and honest, while still concealing a dark intent. You cannot fool me, temptress. I am not some feeble-minded human, or even a passion-crazed centaur. I am a pure-bred elven kind, just as you are. A Lord General with centuries of military prowess to my name. I have seen far more of deceit than you could have possibly known. I have also borne witness to all the avenues and tricks that you particular elven woman play against the male heart and body to serve your own ends. I will not be drinking from that glass, my dear. I would sooner drink from the sea, and you might as well finish it off yourself, if you are so keen. Must you really lean against me like that? I mean, it may be chilly tonight, but I will not take the warmth you offer. If you're planning to make the heat of my body spread and inflame my stupidity, then you'll be sorely disappointed, even if you are very warm. I am not one to lie. You are very beautiful, elven lady, and I have no trouble believing the list of patrons that you've oh so often boasted to convince me of your success rate. But the intense magical weavings that come from being with elvenkind are common knowledge at best, enough to scare plenty of people away. Buxom figure and rosy cheeks aside, I cannot be the first to give you a hard no. How many times have I refused you since we stepped on board? Truly, you exhaust me with your relentless pursuing. After all these weeks at sea, I thought for sure that you have given up by now, or at least accepted my refusal to be another one of your conquests. As beautiful as they are, I've seen enough of your bare skin, suggestive smiles, and patent eyelashes to last a lifetime. Say, my lady, is there any particular reason that you're doubling down on your efforts now? Is it because your chance will soon be gone once we make port and disperse? Surely you could find a new provider in this town, more stable than the likes of me, probably better than I could ever be. Understandably, a Lord General could make a great addition to your list of patrons, but you are not forgetting that, without my consent, your plan is faulty. Or maybe it's just your personal style to browbeat a male target and to siren a child off of you, simply for the bonded seal of provision and protection that comes with such an act. Please, keep your hands to yourself, my lady. I'm aware of how simple it could be without you tracing your fingers all over my chest. And besides, it's not simple. The congress between elven kind with any species is likened to be signing a magical contract when it comes to conception. There is nothing simple about a magical binding that powerful. Mistreating you before the child is born would bring down a curse upon the sire himself. So what choice would he have but to serve your every impulse? When the Divine Ones shaped us from nothing and ordered our world, I doubt they thought through the implications of that particular magic. In my humble opinion, womankind has proven to be far more cunning than the Divine Ones themselves, at least in regard to that gift. Yes, I imply that you're clever. Now stop kissing my cheek over a bareheaded compliment. By the gods, I'm not one to be seduced into fatherhood for the year-long provision I would be magically bound to give you. Now please, do not misunderstand. I do not begrudge the practice of carrying surrogate children for the temporary protection from the sire. I was born and raised around elven women, of course, and I know very well that the number of children carried by them is a point of pride amongst you all, as is the variety of provisional sires you've had. Dwarves, fauns, centaurs, humans. Although most of us keep it a secret, we elves can conceive children with any species we please. The mantle of fertility is one we should all wear with pride. It is a noble pursuit. The ability has become a source of joy to many childless people and couples. I was raised to believe that it was a precious gift and not a cheap commodity. A species that is meant to bring all others together, that is meant to spread love. Oh, how am I okay with it, and yet sound so vehemently against it? Let me specify further. I do believe that childbearing can be a perfectly noble career path, but I specifically dislike when it's cheapened and twisted for convenience alone. A child cannot be conceived without the clear mental and emotional intent of both parties, but that willingness can be falsified, so I've heard, manipulating a male target into believing that this is what he truly wants by magical other means, and having him sire a child just for the provision. That is what I call freeloading of the lowest degree. I take issue with that deception and trickery over such an important matter, all for the sake of having a man cater to your every whim, under the threat of the curse if he does not. So you're telling me that you have never tried to do such a thing for your own gain? Well, no, I suppose you haven't hidden your intentions from me in the slightest, and I can also not prove that you have tried to magically alter my mind into a falsified sense of willingness. But you've also been exceedingly forward and insistent, taking every opportunity to slide close and run your hands on me. Speak to me in that sultry tone, with those eyes so soft. Expose more of your body than is proper, just to tempt me to foolishness. Tell me, what am I supposed to think, but that you're that sort of scheming elven woman ready to do whatever it takes to snatch her next provider, even if it means tricking him into siring a child he may or may not truly want. I told you, drinking all that wine is not proof enough for me that you have tainted it with a suggestion spell. No, of course not. I would not care to taste it on your lips. For the love of the gods, my lady, you are way too forward for my heart to take. What is that? No, I hadn't even considered that for the moment. Why would you behave this way if you didn't want to bear my child and live beneath my protection? What? You just took a fancy to me, apart from your station. You know, you could have just said something of that nature from the very beginning. I am compelled to apologize for my various assumptions, my lady. However, I cannot be entirely swayed. It seems you have done far more to catch, to demand my attention. Well, I guess what I'm used to. So that's not saying much. If I were to be honest, if you are truly sincere in your feelings, then perhaps give me some actual space. Not clinging to me like that every time we meet. You've already done your fair share to make yourself known to me. And as I've said, you are a beautiful woman. Strong-willed and, if nothing else, bold and unafraid. I can't say that I don't admire those qualities in some sort of capacity, since we were forced to coexist on this voyage for all of those weeks. But if you are truly and honestly interested in me as a person, I may not be as unfond of the idea of being your suitor as I would being your next victim. But you also have to know that my position as Grand General makes it difficult to settle down and find a permanent companionship. I will be constantly traveling with my selected man to train new troops. I hadn't thought of that. Your position is quite similar, isn't it? You'd be able to adjust to that lifestyle much easier than most. Suppose you're already accustomed to traveling quite often, seeking out new providers who have the desire to have children. Have you truly done this for so long, only to want to form an attachment out of purely romantic reasons? It sounded so calloused. Of course, you are more than your profession. You are an elven woman with desires and goals of your own. But you've only known me for a few weeks. What makes you so certain that you wish to court me? Flattery would not have earned many marks with me, my lady. However, considering what you just said, I am a little more inclined to consider your offer and allow myself to indulge in your flattery, let alone someone with such a fiery personality. Yes, and a beautiful figure as well. Damn, you were forthright. Did I not already say it? You are the one who desires to be drowned in compliments, I assume. If we move forward with courtship, I would be more than free to give as many compliments as you'd like. Alright, calm down, my heart. Let's have an agreement. I will not bring up the topic of you deceiving me again. If you promise me on your family name that you do not have the intent of doing so. Now, it is not the most romantic way to start a courtship, but there must be some compromise. Very well. The issue is settled and done. I must apologize for wasting our previous time together by avoiding you and making wrongful judgments. Perhaps I have a idea that might be of interest. When we reach port and begin our stint in this new town, we will have far more time to learn about each other. What do you say we start fresh? No assumptions, no trickery. Just the two of us. What do you say to that? As if you would say anything else when you've just been after me for weeks now. Very well, then, my saucy little minx. It seems you've finally done and caught me. Now you just try and hold on to me. After all, elven men are just as sought after for our fertility and other special abilities when it comes to that regard. But I wouldn't want to ruin your surprise. Why do you think I was so cold to you in the beginning? It is not unusual to fight off female advances for entirely different reasons than just my status and wealth. That may be something you will bear witness to, being my lady. Perhaps, knowing how passionate you are, I'll leave my defense up to you. At least from now on. Oh, and one more thing before we go. My dear, please, would you settle for a single kiss on the cheek? You drive a hard bargain. But then again, I think